says, does Stephen miss appearing for Scotland? What did he make of the Euros campaign, and would he have liked playing in the Nations League?
Well, 3 questions.
I know 3 1, he put you in the spot.
So, do I miss playing for Scotland? Yeah, listen, there's great pressures and expectations playing for Scotland. Also for players, you come out of your comfort zone of playing at your club. You're then in a different environment and you have to find your way in that environment. I think that sometimes can take time for certain players. I think we've witnessed that on numerous occasions where really top players find it difficult to adapt to international football, and it's not always the level of the game, it's just the environment that they're in. They don't feel exactly comfortable within that environment, so it takes time. During my time as a international player, I experienced some really difficult periods and some really enjoyable periods. You know, I obviously was involved during the Bertie Vogt's reign, and the interesting thing is, under Bertie, our actual form in the actual playoff campaign was good. We finished second to Germany and just missed out. The big issue was around friendlies, when Keith's referring at present to it being unusual for players not to turn up in the current camps. Well, it was common during my time as an international player during some of Bertie's friendlies. I think we were exposed to too many friendlies, and there was a big call-off during that period, and unfortunately that affected performance, affected form, affected confidence. So during that period it was a different...
That's why you get 32 caps.
No, I understand that, Keith, but also on the back of that, Walter came in and we had some really positive performances. Under Bertie, we also had some really positive performances, but the feeling around the camp, the feeling from you guys in the media was far more positive under Walter's reign, and I really enjoyed that period. So it was indifferent, but you know, as a young player growing up, to go in and be capped 32 times for your country, I'm greatly honoured. You know, to get 1 cap would have been an incredible achievement, but to get 32, I am seriously privileged. So that was great. I thoroughly enjoyed the experiences of that.
What was
Would I have loved to be that? Sorry, Keith, on you go.
What was the worst of the wee Bertie times? Because you know, you see, I mean, I know what you've done there, quite cleverly pointing the finger at the bad media guys. We pick up the vibes. I know. We pick up the vibes. We're around the squad. We see you guys when you're travelling from one airport to the next, and you can. There's no mistake in it. You can be around a happy squad and you can feel that energy, and you can be around a squad which is less than happy, far from happy, in fact. And that's what we were picking up around the Bertie Vogts time. I mean, listen, I was never doubting your intention to be there, and your professional attitude to pulling on a Scotland jersey, but I wasn't sure about everybody in that squad at that time. So I'm just wondering, what was there one example that sticks in your mind of when you just thought, this is just never going to work?
No, not really. But I think probably my sorest memory in a Scotland jersey was the second leg of the playoffs against the Dutch. Which turned out to be a really difficult night for us all, especially after the incredible result at home, beating Holland 1-0 at Hampden. And if you look at that Dutch side, if you ever get the chance, have a look at that Dutch side. It was incredible. It was a phenomenal Dutch side.
It's weird you say that, Stephen, because I've actually got I was looking into it to make sure you played in that game before I asked you a question. The Dutch side, Van der Sar, Stam, De Boer, Van Bronckhorst, Seedorf, Cocu, David, Wesley Sneijder, Patrick Kluivert, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Mark Overmars.
They weren't bad. Yeah.
Not too bad, aye. And that was the team at Hampden. Aye.
That was the team at Hampden, and to get a win that day was incredible. But unfortunately, the real Dutch turned up in the second leg, and it was a really sore night for us all. Probably one of the most difficult nights in my footballing career. But listen, going on to talk a little bit about the Euros, I would have loved to experience that myself, and for our players to go there, it was a wonderful achievement, But I just felt that we didn't show the true Scotland over there.
Do you know?
I really like the current group of players. I really do. There seems to be a great camaraderie about them. They seem to, be very focused, very proud to play for their country. Very humble in the way they speak. I like a lot about them, but I just felt that they didn't turn up at the Euros. They didn't show the best version of themselves. And I was really disappointed for them, because I think they'd earned the right to play on the big stage.
Tell me this, Stephen, to what did you attribute that? Did you attribute that to the fact that for whatever reason they were tired and they just malfunctioned in the big stage? Or there's another view, which is one that I would probably share, is that I felt we were a little bit too cautious in terms of how the players were set up, how the team was set up. I think the handbrake was on.
Particularly hungry, Keith. The hungry game.
And I just felt we could have got far more out of that group of players had we allowed them to go out there and express themselves a little bit more. I dare to say it in front of a man like yourself. It almost felt to me, Elvis, as if we were overcoached. Too much information.
I didn't see that, Keith. I thought we choked a little bit as individuals. I really did. I thought we didn't give the best version of ourselves, and we've got a lot of great players out there. But I think there was a feeling, there was an expectation even around the camp. A lot of the time when Scotland do enter into these big games or these competitions, there's not that same expectation as I felt going into Germany. And I just felt we didn't handle that as a group. But I also will say this, that's part of the journey of a team. Part of the journey of a team is to fail and disappoint and then come back stronger and learn from that. So it's normal in the journey. I think they've made great progress under Steve. We've had the disappointment of the Euros, but I think that experience and that stage will make us stronger. I really do. And, I think there were some really good signs in a couple of our most recent performances. I know they resulted in defeats, but I think our performances were really strong. And sometimes when you're looking at the development of a group, you have to look beneath the result. You have to look at that. Or you have to look at that performance. And I thought the last two performances have been really high level. And I think there's a great deal that Steve can take from them.
But do you not think, Elvis, that Steve has looked at it and he was conscious? And I think he was a bit stung, because who likes getting criticised? I think he was a bit stung after the Euros that he was copping a lot of the blame for being a little bit overly cautious. And it does seem, and he has said as much, and so has John Carver, there was an emphasis made after the Euros of, right, okay, we accept we need to tweak this. We need to try and be a little bit more forward thinking, a wee bit more aggressive. And that's what I think you've seen in the last two games. And it goes far to say, obviously, we played like the Euros in the aggressive front foot fashion that we have the last two. Nobody would have got a hard time. They'd have been congratulated for their efforts.
No, I understand that, Keith, but, I wasn't privy to the conversations within camp. I'm not sitting on the fence here. I just know in football, we're quick to make judgments when we don't know the full facts. And